Hey, I got.
You kissed this just baby, go back over there. Go back over there. Go back over there. That's right. Show this Parker. Show this Parker. Let him know that this is harassing people at my mother house. I just called him. He didn't come to the mother phone. But that mother ain't got another mother time to say nothing to nobody at my goddamn house. So you let Parker know what the just said, because I beat that to a mother up, and that sat here and called me a mother. You send that me right now, because I'm going to show them who the is. My children don't bother no mother and I ain't got time for no mother racist. We ain't been in this damn house 2 mother weeks.
Got it. All right, we're
and
good.
I called him, and they wouldn't let me talk to him. I'm not finna play this.
All right, we're good.
I want to make this very clear. In 2025, you have a lot of white folks out there that tend to say that, well, I'm not saying it's good, or I'm not justifying it, but what happened before the cameras, cut directly on, and what specifically did the black mother say? Again, I'm not trying to justify it, but there has to be more to the story. There are 2 sides, to the story. I hate when videos always start, with this, but then they don't want to show what the other person did in order to initiate. Miss me with all of that. Miss me with any and all of that. You know how many conversations or arguments that I've had with people, and none of them had anything to do with racism? Do you understand that? It doesn't matter who started the conversation. It takes a special type of person to devolve a conversation down to racism, to decide that the first thing that they want to come and say directly out of their mouth is a racial slur towards another person because of the color of their skin. So that goes back to what I stated before, where a lot of white folks will come to my platform and they tend to say that they don't see color. You're lying. You're lying. You're 100% lying. Like, I'm not exactly sure how you're able to pull off that lie and then you can sell it to yourself, to the fact that you can make it truth, and it's not, because in reality, everything is in color. If you were seeing in black and white, you would still, in a sense, see color. You would see black, you would see white. Now, I get that some people, because I get this on my platform a lot, some people, well, Seiji, by the Black Law Dictionary, black actually means dead, so actually black doesn't exist. And if you're talking about black, then it means, void of color and da-da-da-da and all this other type of, and rah. That's cool. That's great. And it still does not take away from what it is that I'm stating at this moment in time. And clearly, we know for a fact that a lot of these individuals that are racist, they do not see black Americans as human beings. They never did, never will. That's why within conversations, whenever it is that they want to, try to make people angry, that they want to try to aggravate, or they want to heighten what's already going on, that's their main go-to. And there's been a lot of times that I've covered videos like this, that whenever it is that white folks decide that they want to be racist, and then they try to blurt that racism directly out, and it's towards a person that really doesn't care about the word, that really ticks them off, right? It sends them to a whole nother level, and then they start to go from 10 to 100. They're like, oh, well, this isn't working. Let me start going through the list of names that I can sit up there and call you, because I know I'm going to sit up there and call you something that's going to really get you to act out of your way. And they're the ones that end up looking crazy, because like, why are you going through all of these hoops and loops in order to agitate a person, in order to get a person to act a certain type of way? That's because, again, they believe in a stereotype. They believe in all of these theories. They believe in the ideologies. They believe in the things that they are specifically taught. Now, I want to list this other thing as well, too. Now, this is something that black Americans have talked about and showcased over the decades. And again, you have both the black conservatives directly out there, or those that just so happen to date white folks, and especially you have white folks out there, and all of them will normally say that, oh, that's not indicative of a whole group. Those are just individuals. Everybody, isn't like that. Just remember how many whites saved the slaves, fought against slavery. You know, they always like to try to, go on that whole thing, but they never want to talk about the amount of white folks up there that was a part of the Three Hooded Gang. Directly directly up there. A lot of those folks that had their kids, their grandparents, right? They had family initiations. They had cookouts, barbecues, with all of their, white hooded attire, right? They would go around towns and cities. They would have, marches directly through the streets openly, right? Don't want to talk about that though. Don't want to talk about the millions upon the millions upon the millions of white Americans that were doing that, right? And they're not trying to say that, oh, those millions, those are just millions of individuals. That's not indicative of all white folks directly out here. I'm like, yeah, okay. You got it. Because like I said, a lot of y'all want to be on some peacemaker type stuff, and y'all want to be on Earth X. Right, where Germany won. That's realistically where you want America to be. We get it. We understand. If you don't understand that reference, you'll see it, in one of the episodes. Spoiler. But again, Black Americans have always just tried to exist, right? Just tried to be. And no matter what it is that we try to do, right? This ends up inevitably happening. Sooner or later, it happens somehow, some way. It always tends to happen, right? Never at a point in time have I seen anybody white, near me or whatnot, or whatever, and I just think that, let me just have an argument with the person. Let me just cause a problem with this person. Let me just sit up there and just do whatnot or whatever. Nah, because I don't care. I'm like, you out there just going to and from and live your life. I'm doing the same thing. I don't care. Like I said, I'm not fixated on you. I don't actually care. Whatever you're doing is whatever you're doing. As long as you ain't hurt nobody, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I don't care if you're gardening. I don't care if you, fixing a fence, putting up a fence, cutting down some trees, cutting grass, whatever it is. I don't care. I just do not care. But when it's the other way around, oddly enough, you happen to see people that just care way too much. They're always in somebody's business. They can never seem to mind their own business, sit still and just be by themselves. Like I said, it's crazy. And when you happen to showcase this, people will always go on the defense versus actually calling this stuff out and trying to clown this type of stuff so that it can stop, so that it can pretty much cease to exist. Like I said, this is why America is still the way that it is at this current point in time, because people don't realistically want to see it change, and people don't want to actually be the change or be about said change in order for the betterment of the United States. It'd be like that though. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.